Back when nothing truly mattered and we hadn't had a clue. We fell in to play the game. Nothing would ever be the same. There were times when there was laughter. There were times when there was joy. But they took it all away for the pleasure in our pain. Welcome to our new world. Shine a light on everything. Please don't be scared for what we know. Welcome to our new world. All the liars try to hide away from the scars we made. This is your chance to understand. We did not design this plan that was built for you. There's nothing you can do. This is my warning. This is your sign that you can't go running high. We will fight for you. You know it to be true. Welcome to our new world. Shine a light on everything. Please don't be scared for what we know. Welcome to our new world. All the liars try to hide away from the scars we from the scars we Welcome to our new world. Shine a light on everything. Please don't be scared for what we made. Welcome to our new world. Shine a light on everything. Please don't be scared for what we made. Welcome to our new world. All the liars try to hide away from the scars we made. Welcome to back when nothing truly mattered and we hadn't had a clue. We fell in to play the game. Nothing would ever be the same. There were times when there was laughter. There were times when there was joy. But they took it all away for the pleasure in our pain. Welcome
Welcome everyone to Nerd TV for another Global Sim Racing Truck Series. I said that backwards. Global Racing League Truck Series. This time live from the simulated Las Vegas Motor Speedway for what we're going to dub this race as the Vegas 200. And if you're confused with that name, just ask the boys here at GRL. They will gladly tell you what Vegas is all about. But here's your stats for the day on the track. 79 degrees surface, 77 temps in the air, very low amount of humidity, partly cloudy, no winds. This is going to be a fun race here out of Vegas for the second round of the playoffs for the Global Racing League Truck Series. And of course, my name is Jeremy Stanley, aka Jay Swifty on the interwebs. And so it was my birthday on Tuesday.
I did it for you.
Dustin's birthday is tomorrow. We don't broadcast on Mondays at the moment. So I said, hey, why don't you throw up those graphics if you don't mind? He's like, what's false advertisement? I said, I don't care. It's tomorrow. So here we are. I don't have my wife to sit in the seat. She's currently playing a board game at a friend's house. So, I can't return that favor. But anyways, happy birthday in 6 hours your time, sir. It's still deserved. I know it's another day to you. I don't care. Happy early birthday.
I appreciate that, my man. It is another day, but you know what? I will take that. The happy birthday wishes, and what better way to call a race than here at Las Vegas, Jeremy? I absolutely love this facility. Every time back in the day when we actually ran leagues, this was always the championship race. Always had to gamble it at Las Vegas. It was a good fit, good feel, always posed great racing. And this track and these trucks, I don't know what it is, man, but it's like the perfect storm combo with the package, the draft. I mean, you get close racing side by side. I mean, you get the full package here at Vegas.
Yeah, no, you really do. Absolutely. So, it gets bumpy on the outside of these corners. On the inside, especially at 1 and 2, you're going to see some drivers scoot way up the track, try to avoid those. The Talladega Vegas part, I know they said drafting, but there's too many bumps here, Dustin. I don't see that really being a thing. And it's up to you if you want to leave the camera on. I told you to leave mine on just because the birthday graphics, but
I'll do it again for you, Jeremy. Don't ever say I don't do anything for you.
I was going to say that. It's been a long time since I was like, you know what? I finally should say it because I feel under I'm just kidding. No, we're good. So the point standings are going to be a little tricky as this race progresses. They did not update the points on the Sim Racers hub, so they're still showing 15 drivers currently in the points, but on our end, when I click on the results tab, there's 9 playoff drivers here only. So I would have to go through and check mark which ones do not belong on the Sim Racer hub. But needless to say, you're going to see all the names highlighted in green, signifying that they're playoff drivers. But like I said, we'll just kind of tick through that for the second round as this race kind of goes on. But fastest person in practice, Dustin, would you believe it or not?
Nope.
It's Chad McGilley in the 65, and that's who we're on board with right now.
Never would have guessed it. So yeah, Chad's out there right now. He's coming to that green flag again, taking that slow out lap, which is, I mean, very common for drivers. They'll take that slow out lap to keep the temperatures cool. That way they have as fresh as possible. And he is going to take that shortest route around the track. He's going to paint that white line. He's going to let it drift naturally up. He's going to keep it about a car or a truck width off of the wall. You keep it a truck width. Yeah, well, the thing is if you put that next to the wall, you actually get a little bit of drag from this aero package. So it's not the greatest to run it right next to that wall. He is going to cut that apron there to try to cut that line. So this is a very typical lap when it comes to Las Vegas, and it puts him at the top of the charts, Jeremy, 29.8 over his Grim Reaper Motorsport teammates of Stephen Knight and Bobby Mantle, both at a 29.83, so I had to go to the third decimal point for those two gentlemen.
That's probably why they're calling it Talladega Vegas. Did you see how low he came off of turn 4? Literally was hugging the white line off the corner and able to run that 29.8, which was only several hundredths off their practice speed. So It's kind of crazy how you can hold the throttle down and not have to lift off the white line on the bottom at a 1.5 mile track. I did not expect that line from any driver.
Right. Well, and we were just watching Brody Marinko, and that's what you got to be careful about is getting too low on that apron. So down on that apron there in the infield, there's actual drainage down there to keep it from, in real life, building up with water. Well, the cement down there is not the smoothest, and Marinko got a little too low, and you've seen his truck do a little hop. He lost speed when it did that. So I guarantee you he's not going to get that low this time, and he didn't. He kept it up a little higher on that one there. So Marinko finishing his times right now, but it's a very tricky one. And like you said, Jeremy, I mean, they're able to stick it low. My question is how is that high line going to prevail? We always know coming to these cookie cutters, these 1.5 mile circuits, that high line can get that exit speed and exit corner momentum. How is this going to prevail, and how is the racing going to be between both of these lines?
Yeah, it'd be fun to see. I know when you're on the high side, you have more tire wear, but there's also bumps on the bottom, which naturally gives you tire wear. So we won't know for sure until we get into the run. We only have one driver on track right now for the final minute, Steven Smith in the 41.
Getting some extra practice laps in. That's a good plan there.
They call Ross Chastain Watermelon Man, but this truck is a watermelon from the front to the back. So we're going to call this guy the I'm going to. Watermelon here off of turn 4. Well, this is lap 3. He's already done, but there we go. Final truck, going to park it. This session is done. Chad McGinley, fastest in practice, now fastest in qualifying. We'll get the pole. And I'm going to take a quick look at the stat board just to see. This will be his... If I can pull it up. Do I have a poll tab? I don't know if I do have a poll tab. I don't. That's cool. Okay, well, never mind. I was going to say how many polls he had, but he's got a lot, though, Dustin. He's been one of the guys up there all year round for several years. He knows how to get it done at Global Racing League. And that's it. 3, 2, 1. We are going to grid here, so we're going to get our cameras off your screen. And we got some drivers to announce here. We got 18 entries for the Talladega 200. Quick shout out before we go grid to our series sponsor, Martin Sports, martinsports.gg. All your apparel needs to help your sim team, or if you have a real life softball team, baseball team, local school or something. You're like, man, I don't know where to get the jerseys from. Well, I got a place, and that's martinsports.gg. And you get a fantastic discount because you know us nerds. That's Super Nerd at checkout, 25%. And you can build your own customized jersey on the website, literally from the URL. You can do a virtual build, save, submit. He gets the order, and he can process your design. That is kind of cool, one-of-a-kind feature. I don't know if anybody else has it, even in the big names. So there's that. And here we go, Dustin. Talladega 200. Chad McGinley on the inside there. P1 outside. And row 1 is going to be Steven Knight. Row 2, Clayton White in 3rd. Bobby Mantle in 4th. Row 3, Michael Hayes in 5th. JJ McCoy in 6th. Row 4, EJ Luna in 7th. Danny White in 8th. Row 5, Stephen Hayes in 9th. Abram Ghostin rounds out the starting order for the top 10. Row 6 and 11th, Joshua Slade to his outside in 12th, Brody Marinko. Row 7, Bradley Miner in the 46 to his outside in 14th, John Howard. Row 8, Steven Smith in 15th, Ron Harrington in 16th. And in your final row, sorted by iRating, did not post times, so it'll be Shane Wielden in the 77 and Ronald Holmes in the 33. Your last truck starting here for the Talladega 200. Kind of a quick recap. I did kind of vaguely look over the points. Knocked out from the first round, looks like was EJ Luna in the 24, Danny White in the 64, Stephen Hayes in the 13. And I think that's it from what's starting here tonight. So there's the names that are not currently in playoffs that are still showing on Sim Racer Hub. So in the playoffs tonight, in the field, is Chad McGinley, Steven Knight, Clayton White, Bobby Mantle, JJ McCoy, Abram Ghostin, Joshua Slade, Bradley Miner, John Howard. If you heard your driver's name right there, they're in the playoffs. And Dustin, we're going to go one lap, and we're going to kick this thing off for 134 laps tonight.
134 laps around here, Jeremy. So pit window, because we always talk about that, is going to be somewhere estimated around 44 to 48 laps, Jeremy. So that means that that's at least going to be a 2-stop race if it goes flag to flag in order to make it the distance. So pit strategy can play a factor tonight, as it typically does here at Las Vegas. So we'll have to see exactly what these drivers have in store. I am digging Clayton White's. Look at the spec mapping on that truck. Digging that. Look at that. Shows up that neon orange on there. Beautiful. So looking forward to an awesome 134 laps here for the Talladega 200.
Yeah, I don't see any poker chip trucks out here, but that orange is just amazing. I was going to comment on that myself, but there you go. Pace truck down, green flag out. 134 laps is underway here. Great start here amongst every single person in the field. Just enough of an advantage for the race leader to cut in front of his teammate Stephen Knight into turn number 1. We're almost going to go 3 wide. JJ McCoy says not to do it. 14, Clayton White. He's going to try to make the move on the inside here down the back straightaway. Has the room to move up if he wants to go up top. He likes to stay to the bottom, right to the back bumper of the 65 and 3.
Yeah, he had it. It looks like he's going to try to stick it. McGinley shifts up the track. Clayton White puts the nose on the inside. First battle for the lead, but McGinley will lead lap number 1. But I cannot say the same could happen for lap 2. As the 14 of Clayton White now battling on the inside, neck and neck, Jeremy. But look at the high side momentum. It's allowing the 65 McGinley to fight right back there. We got a battle for second as well as we look a little further back. So these two positions right now battling for first and for third.
And great racing. There was almost contact in 3. Lead change. Clayton White does take it on the end of the second lap here. So 14.65. Michael Hayes already up 2 spots. He's now positioned in 3rd place. He's got Bobby Mantle on the inside following him. Stephen Knight there in the 79's falling back 3 spots if he does get passed by his teammate Bobby on the inside right now. Race leaders still side by side. Look at this. They said Talladega, and this race start is looking like a Talladega-ish style start. A lot of people still 2 wide here.
Yeah, and this is one of the 1.5-mile tracks that you can comfortably do that. You see a little bit of bobble there. It actually started with the 1 of Michael Hayes and then kind of shifted back to the 89 of Bobby Mantle, drifted up on the checkup, and that's going to allow the 79 of Steve Knight to move forward. Oh, whoa, what just happened to Joshua Slade on that one there? His truck just kicked sideways so fast, Jeremy.
Well, the biggest of biggest air pockets has developed at Las Vegas. Watch his right or left rear. Not even close to Danny White. Not even close. If we can get a chase camera on that to show the gap there, there was nothing that happened or nothing wrong that came from the 64. It is just
look at that.
Miles.
There's like 4 foot of space in between Joshua Slade's truck and Danny White's truck. And that actually started, Danny White had a little bit of contact. What was it? It looked like the 46 of Brad Miner was coming down the track to arc the corner. Danny White kind of drifted up. A little bit of contact there. There was air pocket in between there too. So this was a huge air pocket moment on 2 different levels here. And the one that it cost the most right now is going to be the 12 of Joshua Slade.
Yeah, that was just tremendous. Not what you wanted to see. Not affecting playoff drivers either. You don't want to see it happen to anyone.
Hey, Jeremy, you didn't say poker chip, but I do have a poker truck.
You did find one.
I found one.
I apologize, John Howard. Team whatchamacallit. They've been just destroying it on the positive end, Dustin, when it comes to schemes in this playoff part of the season. They are being very themed. They listened to us. They did really good with last week with Wizard of Oz. Now,
no, last week wasn't Wizard of Oz. Last week was Talladega Nights, my man.
Sorry, 2 weeks ago was Wizard of Oz.
Yes.
Last week was Talladega Nights. This week, That's a beautiful scheme too. I wasn't sure how they're gonna pull that off, but that's a fine job right there.
It is. That's a very sharp looking truck. And I mean, all these guys have amazing looking trucks, you know, but we always love seeing the new schemes that drivers bring out all the time. But right now, under our first Boomer Button Box caution, unfortunately, like I said, the biggest recipient of the bad luck award on that one is going to have to go to Joshua Slade with that 4-foot plus air pocket that just sent his truck careening into the outside safer barrier wall.
See Jeff Brown from iRacing iFlag shouting us out, saying nice camera work on the broadcast.
That's all Jeremy. That's all Jeremy.
Oh yeah, I was just going to say that is no credit to my doing right now. Dustin asked me a while ago, hey, you should probably play with some camera effects and see if you can't come up with anything. Well, let me tell you what, I have done 0% effort on that, so that is not to my doing. I've been painting race cars, been making templates. Every once in a while, Dustin will be like, hey, can you do me a 5-second favor just because I want you to be a part of the work that we do here? And that's about it. So shout out to Dustin for drone work. And
you've had a much bigger role in the design aspect of the upcoming broadcast overlay we'll be releasing next season. So you've had a hand in on that one there too.
I have had a hand in there, yes. I have assorted 5 candy bars in the Walmart shelf when it comes to the design. I'm undercutting myself a little bit, but that's just how I feel. But yeah, the next season, you guys, you're going to be catching it for Global Sim Racing Truck Series. Like, it's just, I always call it Sim Racing. It's always Global Racing League. I don't know why I do that. But yeah, it's going to be a great overlay next year. I'm super excited to see how this works. A lot of new features, new software that's going to be running with it,
new camera angles. We're coming at you guys with everything we can,
except for my lousy voice that's going to follow suit. Maybe I got to work on some stuff in the off season to spice it up a little bit.
Get spicy.
Yeah, get extra spicy in here. So we're going one lap left before we're going back to green flag. Resuming on lap number 9. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong chat here. Chad McGinley P1. So 2 lead changes here amongst 2 drivers. And Clayton White obviously has a fast truck. Michael Hayes trying to be a little spoiler in the mix of all the playoff drivers in the top 6. He's the only one not. So I had a little bit of fun there.
And the racing was good. Like it was before that Boomer Button Box caution. And I'm not going to put that on any of the drivers. There was nothing that they could have done to even prevent that from happening. You know, and it was unfortunate because, I mean, the racing was stellar from front to back.
It was great. A lot of 2x2. And if I remember right, they did the same thing kind of last time here too. So Vegas just somehow surprises me when it comes to restart races. Because it's bumpy. It's not like it's like a Kansas where it's flat and it's racy. Like this track surface is aged and has character, but it still somehow produces a lot of side-by-side racing. I love it. So that being said, though, pace truck pulling down for the second time tonight. Was it Larry Premature Patrick with the flag in hand? There we go. Green flag is out. Much better start for the 65 this time over the entire field. Easy 3 truck length advantage getting to turn number 1 here. Clayton has, well, nope, he does not have the option. Michael Hayes and the 1 gonna be that spoiler P2 now. Solo, he can slide up the track if he wants. Bobby Mantle with a great run on the bottom too, coming down the back straightaway.
Yeah, that the inside lane had a much better restart on that one, and that was the first restart we've had all race, working lap 9 right now. So the second lane did not get the restart they were looking for. Got to work to try to get that back up, but that puts Michael Hayes right now in P2 trying to chase down your race leader, Chad McGinley, but they are 2x2, almost all the way back, Jeremy, as we sit here, and they're single filing through the corners, but these drivers, the second they leave that corner, they start fanning out, trying to get those runs, let those runs build up and see what happens, but man, they are nose to tail on the inside. Look at that.
Choo-choo, here comes the train, all single file this time around to open up this start. here. Got one truck way up the top, and that's the Watermelon Man 41, Steven Smith. Everybody else single file. Oh, two Watermelon trucks here passing each other. Joshua Slade being the other one. I know that's not the flavor on his truck, but there you go. Two watermelons in the back of the field here so far. Lap 11.
I'm sorry. I just seen this. Deets nuts. Ron Harrington, Team Whatchamacallit, man. They pull out all the stops. On the back of the truck, it says, I heart D's nuts. So, well played, well played. I had to throw that out there just because just in a glimpse of one of the camera angles, I just happened to see it.
You know, I've never seen that brand. At least, I don't know if my eyes have just been shut when I'm at the store, but I don't reckon. It must be like a non-Floridian styled nuts that you can buy from the store. And that's kind of cool. That's kind of funny. I love that. That's great. And it's a very clean scheme on top of it, too. So, great job there from that camp. They're always having us overlook the schemes and having some fun with it. So, a little bit of racy here from 24, EJ Luna. He's trying to make some passes here on the inside. Everybody else in the field, they driving off into turn 3 at the bottom. Oh, we got a truck in the lead. And it looks like it's number 1 of Michael Hayes, trying to be the third different leader amongst 3 lead changes at the line.
Oh, and he gets it.
He gets it. 7/1000ths of a second. Michael Hayes to the front.
Yeah, that was so close, but our third different leader tonight. And all 3 trucks that have led a lap in this race, you see them right now, all 3 up front. Look at this, 3 wide back here. What are we doing? We putting on a show, boys. That's what we doing.
Brody Marinko right up the middle here. Trying to pass. Oh, Bradley Minor with a huge slide off the corner exit there. And it looks like the middle lane Marinko might be taking advantage of this. And he does. He goes up in front of John Howard, passes both 2 for 1 there. Now he's going to go right after the attack on the 13. Stephen Hayes, no longer in the Whataburger scheme, but at least he has a number on the door panel, Dustin. So credit to the 13 camp for getting that job done for us. And then back to the front again. Another lead change back to Chad McGinley the third time. He's going to lead a lap. These guys are hashing it out up here.
Oh, they are hashing it out. And I swear you just came up with a nickname for Brody Marinko. Middle lane Marinko.
It rolled off the tongue.
It rolled off so good. But yeah, the battle up here for the lead right now is good. McGinley retakes and reclaims that top spot. Now the battle is between Hayes, and that is the Michael variety, and Clayton White, as they're duking it out for that P2 slot. Clayton White trying to utilize that high line run, but I tell you what, Michael Hayes putting up one hell of a fight on that inside, but Clayton White is able to prevail on that outside. Now sets his sights on that 65.
2-lap hero Michael Hayes gets to the front and then drops back a whole second. Back to the 2 fastest trucks in the field. Still the 14, 65, nose to tail, single file. These 3 trucks have gapped 4th place on back by over a second and a half at the line here. And you see the cluster of trucks, John Howard on the outside.
Ooh.
Oh, he bangs the wall, which is very common to do here at Vegas. That wall does not extend out far. It's easy to come off that tri-oval, set a corner, if you will, and just slap the outside wall, setting up the turn 1 entrance. And everybody else single file, though, as they trying to make some moves here. Some right in the bottom, still like it's Talladega. Some think it's Las Vegas. That's why it's the Talladega 200.
Yeah, and that you're going to see the multiple lines like that, Jeremy. You know, and a lot of drivers this is an open setup league. So again, depending on how good you are on the throttle control, where your truck is set to run, whether you're trying to maximize speed for a shorter to mid run or trying to extend it out for a long run, you're going to see these drivers change where they're at. A lot of them right now running that first groove on that inside. But we do see a number of drivers that are in between that first and second groove or completely in that second groove. We even have some that are flirting with that third one. The 79 of Stephen Knight and the 78 of John Howard had half their truck up into that third groove.
I called Michael Hayes a 2-lap hero, but he's sucked him back in, Dustin. He's back nose to tail with everybody. He cooled off some tires. He came right back with some draft, making this a 3-truck race once more. And so we're going to see if he can make some passes or if he's just going to kind of hang tight. He's going to put his nose about a 1 truck length up, and he's doing that purely not for just overall grip, but for downforce. He's getting that air on the nose, helps the truck rotate in the center of the corner. He's going to do it again, just about a half a lane up this time. Sucks it back in the middle of the corner, back to exit. And it's helping him get through there really close to the outside wall. Good battle right here for the top 3.
Yeah, and these guys, like I said, there is minimal space there up until that turn 4 exit there where it looked like Chad McGinley had a much better exit than White and Hayes. They were nose to tail all the way down, and right now Michael Hayes put his nose on the inside as we look off the back roof cam of your race leader, Chad McGinley, as he's watching this battle from his rearview mirror.
He's loving this race too. Those two passing each other, creating space for Chad McGinley to kind of be out there and lead this thing a little bit longer. As Clayton White, he's a playoffs driver. He wants to be as high up on the podium as he can. A little bit behind them, 4th and 5th place. They're nose-to-tail teammates. That's Bobby Mansell, J.J. McCoy. Kind of just chilling out there, doing single file racing here. No pressure for them. They just kind of have to ride on, right on cue, right on their lines. Hit their marks. We're about halfway, Dustin, a little bit past halfway from the pit stop window you advertised. I think you said 44 to 48. We're on lap 24. I know we had an early caution in there, but it's still going to put them probably at the end of that window at 48.
Correct. And this is not uncommon for both of the drivers on your screen right now, Mantle and McCoy. A lot of times they try to extend out their run for that longer run. They conserve their tires so that at the start they may not be as fast as some of the other drivers ahead of them, but as the tires balance off and that fall off doesn't really become a fall off, they even out and equalize. That's when these drivers typically make their truck towards the front there and make a bid for that top spot. So not uncommon for them. But Jeremy, we're seeing some spacing going on here now as we've had some laps in here. So those fresh tires that drivers have been running with, those pressures have built up, the tire temps have built up, and these drivers now are in it for more of the long run. So you're going to see where these drivers are able to utilize and save. We got a battle right now here. This is for the 13th position, currently held by Ron Holmes, as he takes it away from the 41. Ooh.
Is that a block?
That looked like that could have been a block there as he was coming off the corner. I don't know if it was a block or if he got loose coming off the corner. But, yeah, that affected Steven Smith quite a bit as he loses a spot to the 57 to Ron Harrington after that.
Look at the run that Steven Smith got off the top of turn 4. Hooking it, gets to the outside of Ron Harrington in the 57 into turn number 1. But yeah, I thought he was going to be loose and slide up the track, but he held it down there. Oh, he gets loose again. Ron Harrington sees the door open. He's going to try it as Ron Holmes is going to not run the highest lane through the turn 3 entrance. Drives it down. Ron Harrington's a little switcheroo. He's going to go to the middle of the track. He's going to find the grip.
Ooh!
And he gets put in the wall with Ron on Holmes there. Ron versus Ron. 33 gives the 57 no room. Slaps the outside wall. That truck's hurt.
Ron versus Ron, and Ron pays the price and is off pace. It's a whole lot of runs. But this is, like I said, I mean, this is some of the harder battling we got going on. I mean, further up, we do have some other battles for positions going on. So you see a battle right now between Stephen Hayes, Brody Marinko. But that's why we're trying to shift through the entire field, because right now this is that spot in the race, Jeremy, where trucks are spaced out a little bit, and now it's more of that single line racing that we see going on as we work lap 29, coming around to start lap 30. So about 15 laps, Jeremy, that pit window of 44 to 48 is going to open up, and we're going to kind of see exactly how these drivers, what type of pit strategy they do elect to take.
Yeah, we'll see there. 54 Marinko, I don't know if you caught him, but he was sideways through turn 4, costing him a little bit of speed. He's going to allow Stephen Hayes in the 13 to get to his outside door panel. through turned 13. Okay, that explains. I've been seeing a lot of debris on the broadcast camera pick up. And I'm trying to figure out why.
That's why.
Every time the 13 reappears, it's just blowing debris off everywhere. So that kind of explains what I've been catching. But what I was going to say is I would like to shout out one of our partners because we have some time to do so. Newer to the scene, raceepi.com. That is Elite Performance Industries. And if you haven't heard of them by now, setup shop. They make fantastic setups, not for just a few cars, but a lot of cars on the iRacing service. And so different pricing plans, pick and choose what you want. And for the price you pay, you're going to get yourself into victory lane, no problem. So I think it's well worth the penny that you spend on it. And that is raceepi.com. If you are struggling in this race and you watch the broadcast, you might want to flip over to that site to help your chances next week.
Yeah, great product over there from, oh man, wicked loose off of turn 2. There's JJ McCoy. He's able to bring it back in, but he's doing everything he can to hold on to this pack here. You see Michael Hayes up there on the top spot being challenged by the 14 of Clayton White. Little swapperoo there, but both of these drivers are being reeled in by Bobby Mantle and JJ McCoy.
And look at this, Dustin. Power shift to the top of the track, at least in 1 and 2. The top 5. Oh! It's just, when you have team violence, we usually see it with the fast teams in our broadcasts. On Tuesdays, it's Stealth Motorsports. On Sundays, it's Ghost Motorsports. They like to wreck each other for whatever reason. I'm just kidding. It just seems to follow that way. So,
that's Grim Reaper's
call. That's right. As Elite Performance Industries is just getting all the TV time. You're really giving them a big shout out here. There we go. We can see the bottom of the truck now. And
I got distracted, man. I seen JJ McCoy sit here and get wicked loose and then save it, and then the racing just started getting good, and I forgot.
It is all good. Big shout out to him. Big shout out, of course. But, we're cycling through here. Lap 35 now underway. So we're just under 100 to go. Once they cross the line once more. And look at this. They're all in the second, third, fourth groove. They've foregone the bottom. No longer a thing in 1 and 2. 3 and 4. It's a little more smoother on the bottom, but still, look at this. Michael Hayes all the way up in the dirty line. When I say dirty, there's some marbles up there that's been built for the first 30 laps of running the bottom of the track. So they're trying to brush it off a little bit as we're going to take a ride. The spoiler camera from the one truck. It gives just about 1 truck length of space from the top of 1 and 2. But 3 and 4 last time, he made it to about a half a truck length of space. Let's see what it looks like here. And it's more of like a Homestead line where he's going to give it, just under 1 truck length of space.
Whoa!
I was going to say pretty smooth. Take that back.
We seen that. That spoiler cam got awfully close to that wall there. But he's still running it, Jeremy. And I mean, it's working. He is able to hold the 14, Clayton White. But I'm wondering if he's not getting a little bit of that arrow loose, because it seems like it tends to happen when Clayton kind of closes it and kind of packs some air on the rear end of that truck there. You see Clayton White is not, he's close there. He's packing it on that left rear and gets a little loose. Clayton White backs it out, seeing that Hayes was getting a little loose out of the corner. So Clayton White's going to have to try to figure out a different way around him here. He's going to have to get that run and try to hold that inside lane.
Yeah, the 2 Toyotas running the race right now at Vegas. Clayton White trying to do everything he can, but the lanes have gone, right? At the beginning of the race, you had the options. Bottom, middle, top did not matter. Now, if you're not running the top, what are you doing? So you're just kind of stuck. Force an issue, maybe get some arrow loose, or maybe he can pull the Danny White method of doing a Rocket League Rumble match and just throwing the tornado at Joshua Slade, and you can turn him that way too. But here we go to the bottom now. Michael Hayes had a check up in the center of 1 and 2. Almost gets to his quarter panel. He's going to dive it to the bottom here. Try to take second spot to the white line. If you're gonna do it, it's gonna be in throw. No, 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 no!
Oh!
Save it. Good job there from Clayton. Whew. It's a smoother corner, but man, he's loose.
And that's the issue on tires now. We're working lap 40. That with these tires being worn in like that, Clayton White really has to force it down to that inside line like that to get it to stick. And where the hardest part on that is corner exit. Like drivers are smooth through the corner on that line, painting that line. But on corner exit, side by side with another truck, because that truck on the outside cuts off their exit arc, they have to really put more wheel into it. And when you do that on tires that are already screaming at you, they let you know when that truck starts getting wicked loose.
Yeah, and that was loose early. Yeah, off that corner set, he was slideways. And, well, a little bit earlier than the pit window, even with the or the caution early on in this race on lap 4, Danny White in the 64 gives up on the lead lap to find his virtual crew members on lap 41.
Brody
So is it
Marinko, I
like
think,
a
came in
shortcut?
the lap before that as well. So, you know, you can do it, Jeremy. It's, I mean, at 40 laps, you're only at 120 laps if you're pitting on every 40 laps. So I don't know if he's trying to do the early shortcut. Like if it goes green flag all the way, if he's trying to do the early shortcut now and then run full length stops for the next one. So his next 2 segments will be full lengths on that. I don't know. But that's what's amazing about these tracks is it's not just the racing. The competitors on the track. It's the pit strategy behind the wall and down pit road that is, that throws a monkey wrench in a lot of things. So right now, Brody Marinko, looks like Joshua Slade, he's off the lead lap as well. So it looks like he has been down. Danny White, those 3 have been your first 3 to do it. But everybody else, Jeremy, as we're looking to complete lap 43, going to starting lap 44, this is the start of that window that we had foreseen and projected was 44 to 48. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, as we're right in that window there. That was, of course, if we had green flag racing all the way. But, of course, we had that caution on lap 4 with the 64 and 12. So that's going to extend that out maybe just a lap or 2 at best as he gets back to the top here. So is everybody else. Second, third groove. Only thing being utilized for the top 10 right now. Nice little drone shot here of all the trucks. Second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth.
Fresh tires.
You can see a fresh tire. You could clearly tell. I mean, you had the same idea. Brody Marinko, the 3-for-1 special. That's what Goodyears look like when they're changed here at Las Vegas.
Oh, yeah, we're looking to almost go 3 wide here. They thought about it. 22 and McCoy drifts up off of that corner, and that 3 wide idea quickly vanishes. Just like that, we are back to single file. Jeremy Stephen Hayes down pit road. So he was in the top 10 running. Now elects to come down pit road for the service of his virtual pit crew. He's going to get 4 fresh simulated Goodyear sneakers on that and fill that thing to the brim with simulated Sunoco race fuel. But Jeremy, like you said, the pit window could have a little bit of variance because we did run 2 to 3 laps under caution, which is going to extend the fuel mileage of these trucks. So with that, I mean, you could see that, but I would have to say that some of these drivers may want tires before that happens.
Yeah, I'm sure they're feeling it. And I would love to know the percentage of tire wear that these guys are enduring right now. Especially the ones that have been racing on the outside like the one has been side by side. Like there's been some good, strong racing throughout this entire run. So these tires cannot be happy at Las Vegas. And everyone elects to not come down pit road this time on lap 48. So pit road is clean and clear. We're expecting these guys to dip down at any moment now, Dustin. We're just outside that window. We had the 1 caution. Majority of the field stayed out, of course. That was way too early to change tires. So we're just kind of patiently waiting to see when exactly this thing opens up. This time around, turn 4. 24, EJ Luna. He's going to give up 7th place. and that is the only truck to find pit road this lap.
Yeah, now unlike some of the other tracks we've seen these guys race at, this is not a Daytona or Talladega. I mean, the name, the Talladega 200 aside, you can come down by yourself. You are not going to take a hit on that. What will take a hit is if you do not have a clean pit entry and pit exit. If you have any mistakes on pit road, it is still going to cost you big time on the track. But it's not as vitally important to come down with friends and partners down pit road. Bobby Mantle, the 89, he gives up a top 5 to come down. That's your first top 5 driver to hit pit road.
Yep, he's going to do the undercut compared to his competition in front of him here on 49. Okay, so now the top 5 have come down, Dustin. Now they got to recognize it. There they go. Chad McGinley, 65. He recognized. Clayton White right behind him. Michael Hayes, the top 3, all down on lap 50. And they're all down the speed. You see Stephen Knight coming in. You got John Howard, I think, there in the 78. He's down, so 6 drivers. Or 5 drivers, rather, making their way down pit road this time.
Yeah, I was going to say, with Bobby Mantle opening it up for the top 5, it was going to be the very next lap or the lap after that, no more, that the top 5 driver is going to be coming in. At least a majority of them. J.J. McCoy stays out. He's still staying out to run, but looks like he is going to be coming down this time. You see the backfire out of the exhaust. He's coming down pit road to the service of his crew. He got himself a lap lead. Try to get a little bit of bonus points. That's going to pass the lead off to the 25 of Abram Ghostin, who is out there running. He's going to try to get himself a lap lead. And Steven Smith still out there as well. So those 2 drivers still need to pit. Ghostin in the 25, Smith in the 41. Those drivers still waiting as you see everybody else coming out of pit road right now, and that kind of threw Steven Smith in a little bit of a funky situation there as everybody was exiting. He had to shoot between cars exiting and rejoining the race surface as well as other cars that were there. So he was just trying to get out of the way, but Abram Ghostin down pit road.
He got a lap lead. He's a playoff driver, so he's going to take that point with him and go down pit road the following lap on lap 52. That rotates the lead to the 41, Steven Smith. It looks like he might be coming down this time based off his line on the back straightaway. And there he is on the brake pedal. You see the backfire out of the exhaust pipes. He's coming down pit road. This is going to cycle it now to the truck.
Stephen Hayes.
Headed before everybody else. Minus Danny White, which is a lap down. The 13, Stephen Hayes, is going to take the undercut and lead a couple laps here.
Yeah, he is out front right now, but he's been out front a little, or has been on these tires a little longer than everybody else. Then you got Bobby Mantle, who's trying to track him down. He was, again, remember, the first driver in the top 5 to come down pit road. And then after that, the 14 of Clayton White sits in P3 with Chad McGinley right behind him. So Clayton White had a much better pit road green flag pit stop than the 65 of McGinley, as he's able to bypass him and leapfrog him to take that spot ahead. But these drivers still chasing down the 13 of Stephen Hayes.
And they're still cycling through. Basically back to where we were. I think this is going to be a great time, Dustin. We're going to kick it to our first picture-in-picture break. I got a hot swap, some veggie mix baggies, and then we'll be right back.
And we are back live, coming at you again for the Talavegas 200. Lot has happened since our quick little commercial intermission. We had a change for the lead. Clayton White did catch and pass the 13 of Stephen Hayes. And Chad McGinley had a big-time battle with his teammate Bobby Mantle to take over that third spot. Now, you're seeing the difference in pit strategy. The 13 of Stephen Hayes his tires just cannot hold up to the fresher simulated Goodyear sneakers that the other trucks have underneath them right now, as he has fallen to the clutches of the 65 of Chad McGinley. And as it's looking right now, Bobby Mantle trying to size up the 13, but they are running very similar lines. You see the 13 goes high, Bobby Mantle goes low. Side-by-side battle. This is for P3.
Good battle right here on the track. About to make that pass happen, and Dustin, we finally got some chats on the YouTube side. It only took a third of the race to be completed. It's Not Lame saying go Mantle. Dwayne also saying 89, which is Bobby Mantle. And then Austin McGill shouting out saying let's go Clayton White. So two drivers with some cheerleaders out there on the YouTube world. 18 active viewers right now. And so feel free to chat up. I know some of those are the racers out there on the track tonight, but outside of that, feel free. We'll continue to shout you out. But single file on the back straightaway here on lap 63.
Yeah, a lot of the passings taking place now. Now it's starting to get set back into that long haul again. We're looking to try to get to around lap 88 to 92-ish, give or take, right around there. That's where that next set of pit stops could take place. Doing some of my quick mathematication in my head, which sometimes is not 100% accurate, but you see Clayton White out in front right now. McGinley trying to track him down, slowly reeling him in. Bobby Mantle is taking over that third spot now, finally getting around the 13 of Stephen Hayes. So right now, your top four pretty well locked in. Mike Hayes is rounding out that last position in the top five right now, trying to chase down his brother there. But again, I mean, Michael Hayes, aside from the rotation and pit stops and there towards the tail end of that long run, had been up in the top five. So he's right back where he had been running most of the race, Jeremy.
Yeah, absolutely. Right where they have been. Except for if Bobby Mantle can hold third, fourth place, yeah, it's actually going to net be positive some ground on the leaders, because he was battling fourth and fifth with his teammate JJ McCoy. JJ, who's still back in sixth place. Bobby Mantle, great job to rotate to third and basically hold on just 1 second behind the race leader. So shout out to him for that. And looking on the back, Clayton White, the chrome orange colored truck here tonight, and you've seen exactly the look here for the yellow spoilers right behind him there. Chad on the outside of Clayton in turn two, getting that air on the nose, gets the speed off the corner exit, gets right to the bumper. He's going to follow him this time, line for line, in 3 and 4. And you see the 65 push up just a little bit, but a little wiggle from the 14 is going to allow Chad to the inside.
Yeah, and that is typical McGinley maneuvers there. I mean, he will ride on your bumper for 2, 3, 4 laps there, just to, again, because as drivers, we're always looking in our mirror just to let you know, hey, I'm there. And a lot of times he's looking to see where the drivers are going to go, to know what line to run.
Yeah, no, and you got something here on the Nerd TV replay. Take a look. Looks like the 64 Danny White out of shape. Don't tell me he's going to save that. Don't tell me he's going to. He did save it. Wow. Oh, wait. No.
Oh, no.
He had it saved, Dustin, but a bump sets him free to the infield wall. Good night, 64.
Yeah, he had everything good, but it's again, it's that apron. I mean, even though it may look smooth, Jeremy, that apron is as bumpy, if not bumpier, than the track itself. So it's pretty tough. But I tell you what, something else that's tough is this racing for this race lead right now. These guys have been all over each other. You see Bobby Mantle back there right now, halfway down the backstretch, still trying to bring it in, and Ron Holmes staying up with these guys right now. So again, this battle is good, but you gotta wonder, as hard as they're racing, Jeremy, how much are they wearing and heating up those tires? And we know that this man right here is one to let drivers wear their stuff out and pounce when the pouncing is good.
That he will. That he will. And his tires are not that much older, only a lap or two. I think is the difference between his and the two guys up front. The 33 just kind of having some fun up there, Ronald Holmes. But J.J. McCoy getting loose on very, very entrance to turn 3. It's kind of weird. Need a little over rotation of the steering wheel as the Michael Hayes gets really loose as well underneath him. Drops back behind the 22. It's going to move Michael Hayes back to 6, which he's the not so much of a winner from that round of pit stops. Your top 3 truck slips outside the top 5. Definitely not feeling comfortable underneath that Toyota Tundra.
Yeah, and what happened there was J.J. McCoy kind of got into the wall a little bit and had to turn it hard off of the wall to prevent it from going more into it, and that's when you seen the truck kick loose on corner entry there as they were getting into it, but good job holding on to it. J.J. McCoy passes Stephen Hayes. That was a battle for P4. Now Stephen Hayes trying to hold on to it, but Michael Hayes coming up. Oh, Stephen Hayes up into the wall right now. Michael Hayes has to take a evasive maneuver. Wall glue affects the 13, but he's able to get it off, and then Michael Hayes smacks the wall on exit 2. So handling issues taking effect for some of these drivers right now.
If your last name is Hayes, you don't like turn 1 and 2. That's all I got out of that one there. Oh, and I don't know if he touched the wall there too. He was slideways happy off of 4 though, that's for sure. Matter of inches between the 13 and the outside wall. Side by side here. Between the 2 trucks in front, that's quickly going to go bye-bye. That's Wielden and Michael. Ooh. Wielden's going to take that spot, no problem. More wall contact to be had. Dustin, we're like 25 laps into this run, and these trucks look worse off than what they did 35 laps into the first run.
Well, Jeremy, it's common knowledge that these drivers can make changes on pit road, and if you have luck like I do, when you go to make changes, sometimes you don't make the right calls and you go the wrong way. In the very next pit stop, you have to undo the changes you made and then go the opposite direction. Has happened to me a number of times. Sometimes on making adjustments, if I was shooting for shit, I wouldn't catch a whiff. So sometimes it's a hit, sometimes it's a miss. But something else to remember is Stephen Hayes was one of the first trucks down pit road. So that could be the reason why, Jeremy. He come down right around lap 40, so he's been on these tires now for about 36 laps, going on 37. So it's nearing the start of his next pit window here in just a matter of laps. So that could be part of it as well.
That's very true. We should see the 13 come down very momentarily. I would say Danny White's on that cycle, but never mind on that notion. Yeah, no, you're not wrong there. There's Danny White. Still getting that repaired to the nose of his truck. Still in the session, so I don't think he's given up on it just yet, but that was a massive hit to the inside pit wall. 10, 15 laps to go, whatever that number looks like. There's the one of Michael Hayes, 13, Stephen Hayes. Stephen going to the bottom of 1 and 2. Very unlikely move this far into the race run. Knowing that the grip was on the top half of the track, he just wanted to try it. And quickly moves back to the top. EJ Luna trying the bottom this time in 3 and 4.
He is loose.
And he's still, man, we got to get that spoiler camera off of turn 4 if Steven goes to the top of 3 and 4. That's twice now I've seen that thing yaw out to about 3 inches away from that outside wall. Watch. We're going to go to the camera, and he's going to go to the bottom of 3 and 4.
Oh, Michael Hayes into the wall.
Oh, yeah. Look at that. Live. He has to go to the bottom now. He's got to pass his brother. Corner. All right, let's see if he can hold it still or if he's going to get slideways here. Don't get slideways. Very good exit. Whew. But he lost a lot of speed, had to feather it through.
Yeah, had to feather it through on that one there because he knew Michael Hayes was up top. If Michael Hayes wasn't up there, it's I think you would have seen that truck get super loose. He's going to try it on the inside again. Look at him bobble though. He's having a hard time with that truck. He cannot keep it down there, Jeremy. So right now, Stephen Hayes definitely screaming for some more tires as he changes it up, goes back to the top side. And look at Michael Hayes getting just as loose as Steven. So both of the Hayes brothers, man, they are just yawing it out.
When an onboard camera gets two vehicles having some action at the same token, we're going to keep this camera, I think, for another half a lap. This is pretty entertaining stuff. Back to the inside, the 13 goes to the 1. This is exactly where the 13 pitted last time around. Was on lap 40, now it's lap 80. Times 2 on that notion. So any moment we're going to see this 13, but he's going to try to make the pass once more. These two having some fun with one another. A lot cleaner exit this time. The 1 has the advantage of speed, cuts in front, chops the nose. Going to go back to turn 1. Same story, different lap. 13 to the bottom. Dustin, they're just having some fun out here, aren't they?
I do, and I think that this is something that they have truly missed, was being able to run against one another. But something they have going on now is they have other trucks coming up. EJ Luna has caught them, as has Stephen Knight. So this 2-truck battle has now turned into a 4-truck battle. And this, Jeremy, can get interesting with 2 trucks that clearly are having some handling issues. And then we have a battle right now for 7th between Luna and Knight. So, Jeremy, this is going to get good.
This is getting really good here as these guys are getting more and more bundled up to the 13 and the 1, making this a 4-truck race. To the bottom, the 24 goes. A little bit fresher tires than Steven.
Look at how loose that 13 is.
Oh, the 24 too. Slideways off exit, not be able to hold down the throttle. And he's going to give up that spot to the 13 off a corner.
Yeah, and the question is when are these trucks going to start pitting right now? You see 24 Luna to the inside of Stephen Hayes. This is a battle for the 6th position right now, currently held by the 13 of Hayes. EJ Luna wants it real bad. He's able to hang it down there, but what is corner exit going to show? Going to be a little harder because he has to, a little bit of bobble there, and you see the amount of momentum he loses by having to force it down there. That's going to bring Stephen Knight. He's going to put his nose to the outside and try to follow suit here with both Stephen and Michael Hayes.
The moment we pull the 13's camera off the spoiler is the moment he gets loose off of turn 4 again. You can't make this stuff up. This happens in real time. There's 13 back to the bottom. Ooh, quickly gets on the binders there. He's going to slide up the corner. Tail happy,
way
tail
loose.
happy.
Woo-hoo!
24, EJ Luna picks up on that, goes up to the top of the track real quick, finds the momentum, passes Stephen Hayes on the outside here on lap 85, move the 24 up to 6th place, well, temporarily. Stephen trying to fight back on the bottom.
I think
really
he's
tough
pitting.
to do here.
I think he's trying to set up to pit. That's why he had to get to the bottom.
Does Dustin have it right? Does he have it made? No, not this time.
Ooh.
24 into the wall, sideways, 2x2 at the line, 13 back to the point.
Yeah, so again, this is an amazing battle. 13 back to the top line right now, cuts off the line of the 24 Luna. That's going to open it up for the 79 and Knight. He's going to try his hand on the inside now, as he's now side by side with the 13 as they drag race down the backstretch off into turn 3. 13, you can see him sliding at the top of your screen. He's a little loose up there still, but still hanging on to it. But look at that run. But he gets into the wall, Jeremy. That's going to hurt his momentum there that he had built up.
I feel like I'm watching Jeff Gordon versus Jimmy Johnson at Atlanta, old configuration, about 15 plus years ago, where they're just slipping and sliding for 20 plus laps. This is basically what we're watching, just not for the race lead, but it's still a lot of fun. It's 87 laps into this 134 lap event for the Talladega 200. Dustin, I'll take a quick moment to shout out our newest partner, Brez Coffee Co. This company was built by gamers to offer coffee to individuals who like creative flavors. And then, so if you go to brezcoffeeco.com, you can see not just your standard mocha French vanilla. No. They got our flavor. They got churro. They have some wild flavors. I can't recall off the top of my head all, but 14 Clayton White. Sorry to cut that off, Brez, but he's got some damage to the right front. Playoff implications of the 14. Unscheduled pit stop. We're going to go VHS rewind. What happened here? That was... Okay, no, okay, this happened over... Okay, there we are. About to say something else. Oh, Bobby Mantle. Uh-oh. What do we got here? Oh, he just drove up the track, Dustin.
Oh, he did. He just got tight there. Got into the left rear, Clayton White. He tagged the right rear and then nose tapped the right front. And he is well off pace. I was wondering what happened because I seen him fall way off. Oh, and then even harder there, he tried to get back on the throttle and had wheel spin because the tires were so old. So, unfortunate turn of events for the 14.
Well, to finish off my ad read, Sugary Sweet Joystick. That is the Nerditude's exclusive flavor for churro based. You can see the packaging on the lower half of your screen right now. But yeah, they got a lot of good flavors. Try them out for sure. Super Nerd at checkout. Right now, it's only good for 5% off, but as soon as we get a few more sales in the books, it'll be 10% off. So let's help us collectively get more discounts by buying their product. That's at BrizzCoffeeCo.com. And here we are, Stephen Hayes, 13. He's finally down pit road after having some slip and slide fun for 15 laps consecutive. And everyone else should be following suit here shortly.
Yeah, and again, that's working lap 92. So as it sits, Jeremy, this will be collectively the last pit stop, scheduled pit stop for these drivers. They should be able to make it the rest of the way to the checkered flag for this event. But again, we always know that plans can sit here and change, especially if a boomer button box caution comes out to play. We could see these drivers change that up. But if it stays green the rest of the way, Jeremy, this will be it.
It'll be it indeed. That's when they're next time by at the line, it'll be 45 to go, which the window is 44 to 48. So it'll definitely be within that frame to get it done on the final pit stop under green flag conditions. This whole field is really spaced out for the most part here. We're just kind of biding our time, waiting to see who comes down pit road next. Who's the next undercut advantage that we're going to see. Bobby Mantle holding P2 at the moment, the best undercut for the first round of pit stops. Did not get any damage really from that 14 inch, it doesn't look like.
No, the biggest taker as far as damage on that one there is that 14 machine there on your screen. Now slotted off of the lead lap after his pit stop. So, I mean, he had been up in the top 5 the entire race, Jeremy, and now finds himself in 16th place off the lead lap. So right now, Chad McGinley does lead the way, but we have green flag pit stops coming up. They have officially started. Stephen Hayes has come down to the service of his crew. But again, everybody else still has to at least make one more pit stop right now. Grim Reaper Motorsports with McGinley, Mantle, and McCoy hold your Nerd TV podium positions. Michael Hayes is in 4th, currently defending off attempts from the 79 of Stephen Knight.
You could use that word. You can use fending off. I think that's acceptable. But yeah,
my mind was thinking defending off attempts. That's what I was trying to get out. And yeah, it happens.
That's fine. Today I could not talk myself. I was telling my wife to get some clothes out of the room with the clothes in it, aka the bedroom. How do you slip up on that? I don't know. I was out of it, man. So I understand you 100% for sure. As we're getting closer and closer to lap 100. There we are, EJ Luna, the 24, second truck to start the green flag pit stops. Actually, third truck, you got the 41. Watermelon Zone, Steven Smith. He gave up the lead lap. Joshua Slade, he's on pit road. The virtual crew members, you got the right side up. Now they got the lefts up. So 4 or 5 trucks now have started this process. That's about a third of the field left. Who's next?
Yeah, it's again, we know that it's going to happen. They cannot make it to the end. They have to at least pit one more time. The 78 of John Howard and the 33 of Ron Holmes are the next two coming down pit road. John Howard was slotted in the 7th slot. He has given up that top 10 spot to come down for his final scheduled pit stop. Ron Holmes slotted in 15th off the lead lap, coming down for his final scheduled pit stop. But Jeremy, we know that everybody else still has to come down. But look at this lead that McGinley has, and first one in the top 3 come down pit road. Actually, the top 5 coming down, and Michael Hayes coming in, and he came in super hot off that transition, kicking that thing sideways.
This worked well for Mantle the first time, and he's going to be one of the first in the top 5 to do it again. As we're going Nerd TV replay to see the slip and slide action for Michael Hayes, and it almost looked like he hesitated on dropping to the flat. He got his tires barely on the apron transition. It kicked the thing sideways. It said, hey, don't be toying with it. You are coming down pit road. So it yeeted him to the inside on the flat. And now we see everybody else. JJ McCoy, Chad McGinley, they're both on pit road. Steven Knight, basically all the rest of Ghost Motorsports on pit road on exactly lap 100. There's the 46 of Bradley Minor as well.
Yep, so a lot of people now down pit road. That's going to pass the lead off to the 25 of Abram Ghostin right now, as he's out there getting himself some more laps led, trying to extend it as much as possible. But he is coming in this time, Jeremy, to the service of his pit crew. So the 25, your race leader, coming in, followed by the 77 of Shane Wielden coming in as well.
Abram Ghostin did this last pit stop cycle too. If he crosses the line P1 again, he'll get 2 laps led on the 25 belt. And yep, he crossed the line P1, so twice he's got a lap led. Virtue of pit cycle sequences here. Ron Harrington, the 57. He's on pit road, coming in hot and heavy. He's got that extra runoff, though. Oh, no. Well, I don't know if he was speeding, but he definitely got loose. Had all that runoff on the inside as well. So Ron Harrington said, I paid for pit road with this track. I'm going to use every part of the entrance if I can.
Yeah, well, and a lot of times, Jeremy, we've talked about this brake bias. Brake bias is so important, having that set properly, especially for what you are doing on the track. Having more rear brake bias in there is great to sit here and make that thing turn through the corners a little bit more when you apply the brakes. But what it doesn't do is it doesn't help you on pit entrance, because when you go to get on those binders even harder to slow that truck down, sometimes that's what happens. It will kick that thing sideways, and we have seen more trucks and cars than we can count, Jeremy. I mean, take big hits and penalties on pit road for losing it all over brake bias.
Speaking of losing, pit speed is 50 miles an hour. Ron Harrington came down at 63. Gets the 40-second hold. He is still currently in his pit stall. He was one of your lead lap trucks. Now he's going to fall to probably 2 laps down. Finally released after the 40-second hold. So there you go. There's your first pit penalty that's noted tonight. That's from Ron Harrington.
Yeah, and that's, again, I mean, pit road, a lot of people and a lot of viewers don't realize how difficult sometimes getting on pit road is. And it's not just you getting your truck down to pit road speed and making sure you hit your marks and you don't break it loose. But depending on the track, Daytona and Talladega, getting on pit road, when you are trying to get on pit road with 10, 12 other drivers, oh my gosh, is it a complete mess at times. And it's probably one of the more stressful things that drivers have to endure throughout a simulated race is pit road entry and pit road exit.
It really is. If you don't get practice and you try to wing it, even if it looks easy, it's not. So just and mental mistakes happen, even to the best of the best. We're going to take our final picture-in-picture after everyone's cycled through here. So we're going to go a few laps, thank our partners one last time. And we will be right back. our second Boomer Button Boxes caution tonight, happening on lap 108. 107. It's actually an Evolve. Oh my gosh. Bobby Mantle destroyed from Bradley Minor. A little pressure from the 22 is going to send the 46 and 89 together. And just a right rear hook smashes Mantle into the outside wall, nose first. Bradley Minor got some good damage to the right side. You see his fender part come off, but the worst comes from the 89. Just crashes hard, and that was just hard close racing between three drivers, and they just came together off corner exit.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it was. I mean, it's just, oh man, the impact. And that's unfortunate because Bobby Mantle running second. You've seen his teammate JJ McCoy was behind him, and actually I think McCoy actually got a little bit of contact on his right front there. As we go back and watch this here, you're going to see the bounce off, and then right there, you see that hood buckle on the 22 there, and then iRacing magically unbuckles it, but possible damage on the 22 as well, but this is going to close this field up. It's going to bring everybody back in, Jeremy, but unfortunate break for the driver of that 89 who has been so fast and so dominant all race long, up there in the top 5, and then a lot of times the top 3. Not the way that he wants to continue playoffs, but we've seen him have a damaged truck before, Jeremy, and still manage a solid, decent finish out of it. I do believe it was a top 10. So, I mean, we have seen him battle back before. We'll have to see what happens.
Yeah, we will have to see what happens with that. I don't think the 46 is going to get repaired in time. Mantle, second wreck that he's been a part of tonight. This one's probably going to do him in. Just so much front-end damage to the 89. The 46 might be okay. He's slotted one lap down. He might fall a few more. As you see, they're putting the fender back on the 89's right front. So they're giving it all. They're giving it their effort. They're going to see what they can't do. I don't see him making speed happen after the repair. But he is a playoff driver. You got to do what you got to do to keep in it. Both Bradley Minor and Bobby Mantle, playoff drivers. So we're going to have 2 more laps here, Dustin, and we're going to go back to green flag. It is fresh tires. It is a short run. So if you thought the initial start was fun, keep your eyes peeled for this restart.
Yeah, everybody's closed back up that's on the lead lap. Everybody has got a set of tires. They're all fresh. It's going to be a short run scenario, so no more mid to long runs on this one here. It will be a short run scenario, Jeremy. So these drivers they're gonna lay it out. You're gonna see some hard racing. You're gonna see drivers that usually really prevail on that shorter run. I expect to see the Hayes brothers really putting it on strong. Both of them typically have very good, hard, short run, setups. McGinley can be good. I mean, Chad McGinley can be good, short, mid, or long, depending on the situation. But this is going to be good. He's going to have his hands full, probably more than what he has. I mean, ever since the battle that he had there for, 15 laps with Clayton White. So this is going to be a good race finish, that's for sure.
Danny White reporting there from the YouTube side. The driver, the number 64, involved in the first wreck, or second wreck rather, says huge track changes. Tight the first run, loosened up. The whole track got loose for the whole team. And of course, we saw him lose the truck off of turn 4 whenever he crashed out in this event. So kind of plays into the part. You mentioned that setup changes can go the wrong way in a hurry. It's got to be challenging, right? To feel like, okay, my truck was tight on the first run, so I got to loosen up just a touch. But then the track itself all of a sudden says, hey, I need to change my track conditions because you guys are putting too much rubber on me, and naturally it loosens up even more. So if you try to just tweak it just a touch, you're still overcompensating for the whole track condition itself. So as a driver, that's something that's really difficult to keep on top of.
And it really is. I mean, you got to remember, on top of them trying to keep on top of how their truck is handling, and and the track conditions and how they're changing and making those adjustments on pit road, they're still out here battling and racing, trying to hit their marks, hit their lines, not overdrive corners, not overdrive the tires and overheat them. So I mean, there's a lot that these drivers do inside these simulated cockpits. I mean, granted, they're not in real cockpits of 120 degrees or more, sweating their balls off or anything else, but I mean, these drivers mentally put strain on themselves just as a real driver would.
Sweating my balls up, something I'm not doing right now. That is confirmed. Green flag is out here for the third time tonight. Was it a little tire spin maybe from the Chad McGinley truck? I cannot tell. There's a little motion there, little contact, little domino effect on the bottom lane. We get to turn number 1. Stephen Hayes puts himself in a great spot. Remember, he undercutted, so he's going to fall back, but initially he's in a great starting spot. Abram Ghostin, too. This guy might be the best winner out of this sequence. Hits the pit stop late, has a caution, going to restart within the top 5. This 25 truck has really not been in the top 5 or close to the top 10 for the most part, but here he is kind of competing late in the going.
Yeah, and right now, speaking of competing, talked about the short run speed. Michael Hayes not wasting time, going to the attack on the 65 and McGinley right now. He put his nose there last lap, and they've been side by side all the way through. Chad McGinley getting super close, trying to pack any air he can, get any side draft he can. Coming off of there, Stephen Hayes finally gets by the 25 of Abram Ghostin. It's going to put him in third spot, but he's got nowhere to go, Jeremy.
Oh, Michael tried moving up the track to get himself a wide corner entrance, and the 65 did not do it. Man, those guys are 5 inches apart from one another all through 1 and 2. And they're going to be the same way into 3 and 4. Running really close. No room for error for Michael. He's still going to hold on, though, throttle down. He's going to take this lap this time over Chad. Stephen Hayes somehow still holding on. Does he go 3 wide? Nope. He's going to be safe here. And it's still going to be 2 by 2 for the race lead. Now 2 by 2 for second and third as the 25 Abram Ghostin gets to the top of Stephen Hayes on the back straightaway.
Yeah, so now this battle going on. Stephen Hayes trying to secure that third spot while he sees the battle for the lead up top. And those guys still neck and neck, side by side. Little one goes down to the apron. That's Michael Hayes. McGinley stays up top. Now Chad does not have to let Michael Hayes up. That has been talked about in the drivers' meeting. If you elect to go down onto that apron, it's perfectly legal. But the driver that stays on the racing surface, because that apron is not technically a racing surface, they do not have to let you back up. So that is one thing drivers have to be careful with going down there, because if Chad wants to... Oh, Stephen Hayes! Super loose through there. Somehow saves it. What a drive.
I feel like he got some contact there that set him offset a little bit on the apron, then had to just walk the thing all through turn 4. Big save. We're going to Nerd TV replay real quick. This is off the backstretch into turn 3. Watch the 22's front bumper. There might be some... No contact with the 25. Side touch. Put him on the white line. Comes up the track. Makes contact again. And then he kicks it about 20 degrees sideways to 3 and 4. Excellent save there from the 13.
Yeah, that was door contact there that just... It offset his entry into that corner there. And he had to oversteer it going into it and just put more wheel into it than what he wanted to. And those rear tires just said, nope, not today, Junior. But the race up front for that race lead, Jeremy, still heating up, still side by side of both Hayes and McGinley.
McGinley doing a great job, not giving much space. And contact there. It's finally going to give way to Michael Hayes. Gets loose. Bumpy to bump. We saw Danny White do this. And he saves it. Good job there. He's going to fall back to 4th, maybe 5th as he gets through 1 and 2 here. And when you run that close side by side for so long, something has to give. And it gave to the guy on the inside, Michael Hayes. But he recovered very nicely.
He did, and now that gives the 65 and McGinley a little bit more breathing room. And now sitting comfortably in P2 is the 25 of Abram Ghostin. As it sits right now, he does have the 22 of J.J. McCoy slowly closing in on him. So if McCoy did get any damage from that minor mantle incident that took place. It does not look like it's affecting the handling or the aerodynamics of that truck at all, as he's right now comfortably in the Nerd TV podium sitting P3 trying to chase down the 25 of Ghostin.
Trying to figure out if you said minor mantle incident or was it a minor mantle incident? Could not
I thought that
out.
in my head after it came out of my mouth.
I think I mentioned that maybe last month too. It's too easy. Low-hanging fruit, at least for my mindset. But back to the 22, all over the back bumper here of the 25. Coming down the back straightaway to turn 3. It's going to be 12 to go at the line. JJ is going to play the patience game, put the nose up just a bit higher to the outside, gets the run off the corner. Abram goes and gives him all the space in the world. He's trying to secure the top lane like it's turn 7 at the Roval. And JJ said, thank you for the space. I'm also going to put you on the outside wall. They're going to go 3 wide here through 1 and 2.
Wow, and the big loser on that one there was the 25, and there was nothing he could do there. He had the wall to the outside on that one there, and the 22 just drifted up and just whoop, just door banged that panel there, and off goes the 25. So now that puts JJ McCoy up to P3. Michael Hayes, after that loose incident on the front stretch and a little bit of lawn care and maintenance by mowing the front infield, finds himself back in P3 now, trying to chase down JJ McCoy.
Yeah, his tires might not be happy with the number 1 here. I don't know if he's going to have the tire wear advantage to get to the 22. Definitely not getting to the 65. He is on a mission. And you see Abram, his truck's still not happy, loose off the turn 4.
No, he might have had a little bit of help on that one there. The 24 was super close to him. It's about the only way we're going to be able to see that. We're going to do a rewind, but they came off the corner, and the 24 was super close to the rear end of that 25. He had to back off just a little bit. Yeah. I don't think he made contact, Jeremy, but that might have been one of those aero loose situations we've seen a number of drivers have when another truck is so close to the back end.
Yeah, if you're just following someone, right, you're just in their wake. Like, they're punching a hole, you're drafting. But that rate of speed, when you close up on somebody, you have air on the front of your nose that you're pushing forward. And when it gets to the back bumper of a truck, like the 25, it gives them a shove, like an actual truck hit them. And it kicked them just a little bit more loose and had to check up quite a bit on corner exit. So that's all that was. I think you're correct on that notion. But 8 laps to go at the line this time, side by side for 3rd and 4th. This is for podium to talk to us nerds here after the race is over. Stephen Knight is going to try to take the dive to the inside to collect that spot. Does Michael go to the bottom for the crossover, or does he give him the shot? He's going to give him the shot down the back straightaway. Big shot. Oh,
and that's going to cost him. That's going to cost him big, Jeremy. He sat here and elected to give the shot to the 79, and the 78 of John Howard pulled the crossover and went to the inside, and he's going to lose that spot potentially as well. So, and then we got, look at this gaggle of trucks back here. EJ Luna, Stephen Hayes, Stephen Smith, Abram Ghostin. These guys racing it out, Jeremy. 7 laps to go, and we got battles all over. This is exactly what we said was going to happen, though. Fresh tires, short run, always breeds some high-octane, high-action racing.
Yeah, I think it was 3 wide for a quick second. 13 back to the outside wall. Stephen Smith overreacting there, goes to the bottom. Clears the 13, 6 laps to go. Chad McGinley half a second lead over JJ McCoy. 1 second back is Stephen Knight, John Howard. Things are really spaced out throughout the entire field after that little 2 and 3 wide racing in the back half. And so they've kind of cleaned up here. This is just going to be a battle of keep your truck underneath you, and you're going to maintain your spot. But JJ McCoy is trying, Dustin. He gains a 10th that time. We have 5 laps to go. If he gains a 10th a lap, he will be there. But can he keep that momentum?
Yeah, and that's going to be the thing. Las Vegas is a momentum track. We've seen it happen before. I mean, we've seen it happen with Michael Hayes when he gave the bump shot to the 79 of Stephen Knight, and it slowed his momentum up, and John Howard said, nope, deuces, off and around I go, I'll take that spot. So momentum is key. And right now, JJ McCoy has got 4 laps to go to try to chase down and close up that little bit of gap that he has right now in between himself and teammate Chad McGinley. And then he has to worry about passing him, Jeremy. So this is going to be a tough one. 4 laps to go. There is your race leader in second place. Will JJ McCoy have what it takes to chase down McGinley and pass him for the race win? We'll find out in 3 more laps as they cross the line this time.
There we go. 3 laps to go. 0.3, so he lost the 10th from the lap prior. Can he make it back up? Right now they run identical lines. Second groove in the corner. I don't know if this is going to be enough. He's going to have to change the line, maybe move to the top. To do anything, cycling the camera a little further back throughout the whole field. This is looking at 6th, 7th, and 8th on your screen right now. You're going to have to do that. You're going to have to stagger the line to make any ground. Steven back to the top to where he's been comfortable this whole entire time. 2 laps to go, 3 miles left in this event.
3 miles left, 2 more circuits around. McGinley holds that top spot. JJ McCoy trying to chase him down. Jeremy, as it sits, unless there is some type of mistake on the 65, JJ McCoy is going to have a tough spot. JJ McCoy goes to way top side, top of that third groove, trying to build that momentum up. He might have been trying to save. Really cuts the inside. Elevated Esports Racing, 1 lap to go. JJ McCoy has 1 final circuit to try something. But Jeremy, there is a lot of space in between him and his teammate, the 65 and McGinley. Unless Chad makes a mistake going into turn 3 or 4, I do not see JJ McCoy being able to pass him. Final attempt. McGinley runs the safe midline, high line for McCoy. Chad McGinley will win the Talavegas 200. JJ McCoy, second. And Stephen Knight will round out your Nerd TV podium.
Yellow spoilers, Grim Reaper Motorsports taking 1, 2, and 3 here this evening for this 130 per lap event. A lot of fun, a lot of good racing, but at the end of the day, the power team right now able to take all 3 spots in this. Chad McGinley yet with another victory this year, move his win tally to number 11. 11 for the 2024 season. Just clear dominance between himself and Joshua Slade this whole season. But this is playoffs, and Chad McGinley has just outperformed much more than anybody else. And he's going to do a nice little burnout here to celebrate his victory.
Yeah, dominance is an undertone on on that big understatement. This guy has seen victory lane more times than most people, do, myself included, in their entire career sometimes. And he's done it in a single season. So win number 11 is our main man, Scott Martin from Martin Sports would always say. And as he burns it down, Jeremy, let's run through the unofficial results.
Yeah, McGinley P1, JJ McCoy second, Stephen Knight. Here's your podium there. 4th place, John Howard. 5th place, EJ Luna. 6th, Stephen Smith. 7th, Stephen Hayes. 8th place, Abram Ghostin. 9th, Michael Hayes. 10th place, Clayton White. Good recovery there to finish on the lead lap. 11th, Shane Wielden. 12th, Joshua Slade. And that was your last driver on the lead lap. 13th on back, 1 lap down or more, which is Ron Harrington, which I think is the only lap truck to finish the race. Everybody else parked it, I do believe. So Bradley Miner in the 46th. He's in 14th. Bobby Mantle, 15th. Ronald Holmes, 16th. Danny White, 17th. And Brody Marinko rounds out the 18 truck field here for the Talavegas 200. We're going full screen. We're going to wait for our top 3. We will be right back. And welcome back for the Mart Sports post-race show. We got our top three gathered up. First place on our list is the third place finisher tonight, Mr. Steven Knight in
Yes,
the
sir.
79 truck. Man, congratulations on your P3 tonight.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. Grim Reaper sweeping the field. 1, 2, 3 for podium here. Walk us through your night. You started P2. You kind of fell back a little bit, hovered around 5th place, 4th place, but then found yourself back into the top 3. So just how'd you manage to get back to that 3rd place?
Yeah, the race started okay. I tried to. Somebody got loose in front of me. I went underneath them, and I got caught down there. And I lost positions, and then I just cruised for a good bit. The truck felt great. I had lots of battles throughout the race. A lot of respectful driving. That was fun. I found myself, that last restart is the only reason I got to the top 3. But I'll take it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That was some great racing all the way around this track for all 134 laps. I heard there's a lot of track changes as far as like comfortableness. It was tight to start after the pit stops. It seemed to really loosen up for a lot of drivers. Was that a lot of different setup swings, or was that just the track just changing overall?
I think it could be the setup, the way you drive it, if you're saving or not. I felt all the things you said. This track was fun. This track was fun because you could race the bottom, you could go to the middle, you could race the top. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it looked like a lot of fun from my perspective. Wanted me to be in that truck for sure. Having the same amount of fun you guys did, absolutely. But congrats, man, on P3. Great way to start the second round of the playoffs.
Yes, sir.
And final thoughts before we let you go tonight.
I just thank my teammates. They pushed me to get stronger. I'm trying to keep up with these guys, and I appreciate GRL for doing what they do. The managers are doing a great job, and I appreciate you guys. The broadcasts are wonderful. What a treat.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that there, and good luck the rest of the way in the second round of playoffs. Looks like we got Iowa next week, short track, and then Homestead, Martinsville.
Let's go.
Yeah, we'll see you at Iowa next week.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Have a good night.
You too. Thank you.
Yep. That was Steven Knight there in the 79. It's been a little bit since we've talked to that man, but now the next two guys, well, it's actually been a minute to talk to JJ McCoy.
It has been.
So it's been quite a bit. So 22, JJ McCoy, P2 tonight for the 22. It looks like the number 2 is just your thing tonight, man. Congratulations.
Oh, thanks, guys. I'll take it. Happy with a good finish to start off this round.
Yeah, open up the second round in P2, so that's awesome there. Started 6th, wasn't the best qualifying effort, but you made your way to the top 3 after the second round of pit stops. It looked like you and Bobby kind of floated between 4th and 5th place. So what was the difference underneath you to get yourself to P3 or P2 rather?
I had just when that first cycle of pit stops went around, I just took it easy trying to catch back up to them. I knew they all pitted a little bit before I did because I pushed it as far as I could. So I knew if I could get back with them after we made that last stop that I could push harder than what I had been. So it was just the right amount to get going. Couldn't quite run down Sensei number 65 there, but a couple more laps I would have liked to have been some trouble for him.
And you gave it an effort. You got under 0.3 of a second, so you made up a few tenths. I thought maybe you had the truck to do it. It's just 65 had that middle groove dialed in, man. But how are the track conditions for you out there? Heard some different opinions on how the track was compared to changing the setups. So what did you do behind the wheel to pick up that speed?
I was just backing up the corners just a little bit. I made a couple adjustments to loosen the truck, and then the last pit stop there, I took a couple gallons less than what I needed to fill it, so I just had a little bit more speed and had her rotating, had her flying down the straight.
Yeah, 100%. Absolutely, man. Well, congratulations. Great way to start the second round of the playoffs. Iowa next week. Hopefully we'll be talking to you then. But any final thoughts tonight before we let you go?
Yeah, just shout out to you guys for always putting on a good show. Shout out to Grim Reaper. Pretty cool to get the podium there. Wish we could have did a 1 through 5, but we got some more races left to try and get it done.
You certainly do. You got 4 more scheduled to make that happen, and maybe we'll see it next week. Good luck to you at Iowa. We'll talk to you next week.
Thank you, sirs.
Yeah, man. And that was JJ McCoy in the 22, and then now Dustin for the 11th time this year. 11 times. The 65. Chad McGinley finds yet another checker flag. Chad, where are you putting all these checker flags?
In the bank.
So, if I had a checker flag, I can run to my local bank and then cash it in. Is that
Yeah.
what we're getting? Okay. That's a good thing to know. I'm gonna write that down.
You get
right
Monopoly
now.
money.
Yep.
But congrats, dude. P1 in practice, P1 in qualifying, P1 in the race. Your team sweeps the podium. So just all around, just congratulations. Job well done. The difference between you and everybody else, it seems like, is you had that middle lane hooked up a little nicer than everybody else. Is that something that you kind of banked on tonight?
Yeah, Team Conti built a wonderful setup this week. It was really fast, almost as fast as Xfinity Internet, you know. But no, it was really nice to drive in the middle. Early on, it was a little free, but once it, 10 laps in, it was fast. It was a good battle though at the end. Sucks that still finished 1, 2, 3, but it sucks that it wasn't the other 1, 2, 3. It would have been nice to be maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 with that, but it was a great drive for us, that's for sure.
Grim Reaper always wanting that one extra, Dustin. Did you hear that?
I
Back-to-back
did.
interviews.
I
They
did.
wanted top 5. They wanted top 4.
Always want more though, but I tell you what, that's determination. That's a goal.
right. This is why they do so well. They have to have more.
Yeah. We got to push each other. Only way to get better.
That's right. Absolutely. Love the mentality. Keep it going, man. Iowa next week. What's your thoughts on that race?
He won't be there.
I won't be there. I won't be there. I will be.
I forgot.
Yeah, I won't be there. So that's what my goal tonight was, to get bonus points for pole, get the best finish I can get, and can't get much better than first. So I mean, that's a good start. It's just gonna be it's gonna be a job to get make sure we get into the top 4, missing a race and 0 points. So maximize this one. We got 2 more races to maximize, and hopefully we can do it.
Well, I slipped up on a word. I actually meant to say Homestead. I'm just kidding. That was a complete blunder on my part. All right, man. Well, regardless, great performance tonight as usual, and we'll see you in 2 weeks at Homestead. Maybe you can capitalize there and kind of lock yourself into Phoenix. But final shout-outs before we let you go tonight.
Just Grim Reaper guys. I mean, we put in the work this week. I mean, it showed. Appreciate all them putting in the work and racing together and really finding out what the fast line is around here. Obviously, you guys, always good to watch your broadcast afterwards. It's always fun to watch. It's always nice to see myself as well. I mean, but yeah, and thanks to Global for always putting on a good race. That was fun.
Yeah, 100% there. It was a lot of fun from flag to flag. So congrats once more. We'll catch you in 2 weeks there in Homestead.
Yep, appreciate it, guys.
Yes, sir. That was Chad McGallion, the 65, Dustin, his 11th checkered flag. I learned something today. You can take your checkered flags and bring them to the bank.
Get Monopoly money, I'm telling you.
Yeah, I don't know who the banker is, but they're not making out on their end, that's for sure. Flags are valuable. They're not worth that much. Monopoly money's big. That's big money.
It is.
All right, well, that concludes another broadcast, Dustin. Great performance from everybody here. Only a couple wrecks, one solo, a couple with air pockets, a couple with natural contact.
Big air pockets.
Yeah, we'll have to talk to Danny White about that. He had that Call of Duty pack-a-punch there in turn 3 to settle that one out. But man, what was your thoughts on Las Vegas?
I mean, it was a good race. I mean, like I said, the first boomer button box caution that came out wasn't anything any of the drivers did. That was just massive air pockets. That was crazy. I seen some of probably the best car control, or truck control rather, out of a lot of these drivers. I mean, they were driving loose trucks. They were kicking them sideways. I mean, how many saves did we see? Trucks that probably should have been lost, and the drivers maintained them. I mean, it was fantastic. And I'll even count Danny White's, because he probably mowed more grass than anybody on that infield. And he had it saved with that transition on the older tires. That was just all it wrote when it sent him to the inside. but I mean, he had that thing saved too. I mean, it was excellent racing, good side by side. That last Boomer button box caution that we had, it was unfortunate that it involved Bobby Mantle and Bradley Minor, but man, did it set up some amazing races. That short run like that posed a lot of hard racing, good clean racing too. So I mean, overall, it's what I would expect from a Las Vegas race running the NASCAR trucks here. I mean, they always put on an awesome show here.
They really do. And Las Vegas is continuing to be one of those highlighted mile and a half tracks. When I see it on the schedule, I'm like, I'm looking forward to this one. And tonight, it's no different. Really showcased why that is indeed true to myself. And I know you love this place too, but I guess we get to do it again on Tuesday. This is our next broadcast for the RSR Next Generation Cup Series. Tune into that, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 Central. Until then, guys, we're going to let Scott Martin take this thing free. And make sure to always get your nerd on. We'll see you then.
This presentation is brought to you in part by
Martin Sports. Get the apparel, look stylish, be badass with apparel from Martin Sports. martinsports.gg. iRacing iFlag. Must-have flag marshaling system for any aspiring sim racer. Get yours today at iracingiflag.com. Boomer button boxes. Total sim control at your fingertips. boomerbuttonboxes.com. If you race hard, then you need to rock hard.
And no station gets you harder than
iRock935.com. If you're a collector and that's your game, then Dusty Pete's, that's the name. DustyPete's.com.